Good morning. Oh, we did that.
We did it together.
That was awesome. We didn't even plan that. That's freaking cool. How you guys doing this morning?
Well, my voice is a little bit scratchy, if you notice.
Well, gotta go, guys. Have a great day. Bye.
See you later. COVID yes. No, just kidding.
No, it's not that. That was there's a marketing conference going on, and they had a little pre-day party type thing. So you have to practically yell to talk to everybody. But it was good seeing a bunch of folks down in Clearwater. And
why wasn't I invited?
I don't know. Why weren't you?
They don't like me because I don't buy into their crap half the time. I'm like, I just look at them like, you're serious, right? You actually believe yourself. That's my biggest thing. I look at it and go, you believe yourself, don't you?
They must.
They have to, because they couldn't scam us out of money. I mean, take our money, or get us to buy into them. Just kidding. I'm messing. Did you do any parades this weekend? Because there was parades everywhere.
Well, I went to the racetrack on Friday for a Christmas party type of thing.
Nice.
That was nice. That was fun. That was my first time at Tampa Bay Downs for a race. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that place.
I'm still relatively new here.
That and playing poker. I don't play poker. I have too many tells and too many twitches, and people are like, they get confused watching me, and I'm and then and to be honest with you, I really don't know what I'm doing.
Is he bluffing? We don't know.
Is he just an idiot? He's just an idiot. How about that? I'm the guy
he's got gas.
I'm the one that sits down when you play blackjack, I mess everything up because I do exactly what you're not supposed to do.
Yeah, I just don't play.
I'll split, that's how and they're like, "Why are you doing that for?" I don't know. I just want to look cool, and I'm splitting it. They're like, you're a moron. Well, yeah. I'm gambling. Of course I'm a moron. It is what it is. But there was parades everywhere. We streamed one. We streamed one Saturday morning, and then we saw one Saturday night. I just kind of kept my phone out there because they didn't hire us to stream. They actually contacted me at the last minute, and I'm like, no, I can't. My guys have already been up since crack of dawn. And then yesterday went to a gun show.
Oh,
in
cool.
Newport Richey. Where is it? Yeah, Newport Richey.
See, I'm not plugged into everything I need to be plugged into yet.
Well, you're down here in Clearwater.
No, I'm actually in Trinity, so I'm not.
Yeah,
far.
like I said, you're in Clearwater. You're way down south.
Yeah, you deal with everything.
That's not south.
You deal with everything that's like down there.
East.
Down at Trinity, uppity
Yeah.
neighborhood.
See,
it rains, they drown.
Our West
my
Pasco
mailing
people
address
don't
is
get no
Newport
money.
Richey.
I know it is. So Trinity doesn't exist other than a name only.
Well, I saw something with the census where they actually tried to name it.
They did.
Trinity.
And it failed.
So we'll see. Maybe it will change at
anyway,
some point.
but it went to a gun show Sunday at the Elks Lodge. And, to be honest, I'm like going, I'll be in there for like an hour.
Oh, wow.
I was in there
I'd be there for hours and hours.
4 hours.
Yeah, easily.
Because I had to go through a background check and I got another.
Oh,
new
you
carry.
bought something.
Oh, yeah.
There
And I
go.
tell you what, if it wouldn't freak everybody out, I'd whip it out. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, but there's a lot of tech going on this weekend, and one of the things on here, it was kind of like one of my favorite things, but we'll start in the beginning. Who put this in? Did you put the Fed coin?
Oh, the Fed coin, yeah.
The Fed coin. The Fed coin is here.
Yeah, the central bank digital currency. They'll come up with a fancier name than that at some point.
Just call it the Fed coin.
The Fed coin is what all of the conspiracy theorists were saying was coming. And of course, that was denied. And here it is. It's actually in beta. And just like everything else in the government, if you look at when they launched it, it's the afternoon just before Thanksgiving. No press coverage on it. No mention of it whatsoever anywhere. And it just that just automatically gives you the slimy feeling. Okay, they're definitely not up to any good with
Something's
this.
wrong. So here's a question for you. Okay, so is this going to be one of those things that the government's going to goober up? And what is it backed by? The dollar?
Well, even the dollar is another thing that's not even backed by gold anymore like it used to be.
So I'm glad you said that, because that's what I wanted you to say, right? Because that's going to bunny trail into China, Iran, Russia, and there's a couple other ones. They're all jumping onto this a new currency that's going to be backed by gold.
And I think with the real problem with a digital currency that's being, sent out from the central bank is the control aspect of it, and that's why there were a lot of conspiracy types that were, at least there were people were labeled conspiracy theorists just for bringing up that the federal government wants to have a digital currency, and it's like, of course they won't want to do all this control.
Right.
So I think this is an interesting topic to talk about just because of that possibility of control, because it's already being used in places like China.
Right.
And if the Communist Party of China, if they, the Chinese Communist Party, actually CCP, if they don't want somebody to be a part of society anymore,
they just knock your ass out. You're gone.
Yeah, you don't have any, you have no money, you have no way to. Yeah, there's nothing we can do. So you have to tell me a little more about what that means then.
Yeah, I don't. Anytime the government throws something out there, I'm like, okay, well, that's going to suck.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Not that our government sucks. Look, whether you like the left or the right or the middle, it doesn't freaking matter. We still got one of the better governments in the world. It's just unfortunate. It's like they can screw up a wet dream. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and the talks is that if this ever does completely replace the dollar, there'll be incentive to get as much of your dollars into the Fed coin at first, and the longer you wait, the less money you get for that Fed coin. So that'll be.
Oh, you mean like Bitcoin?
No, it's not like
No. When I mean in the beginning, you could buy a lot of Bitcoin. Now you can't buy a lot of Bitcoin unless you're goober rich.
Well, you can pretty much buy as much as available on the market. It's just, it costs a whole lot more.
That's just what
you can buy fractional portions of it.
Yeah.
Just think they already have the great start when they sit here and intercept these, illicit Bitcoin transactions, and then they go ahead and confiscate it all, and then they hold on to it and are like, wait, why don't we do something with this? Let's make our own coin.
Yeah,
I fund it with Bitcoin.
That's like when they came out with a $2 quarter. Whatever it is.
Hey, that's a big market.
It is now.
Coins.
I have those. Actually, what's really cool? If you go to, what is the name of that coin? What is it? $2? Well, the $2 coin. It's the. Come on, Rob. Shout it out the back, baby.
Oh, are you talking about the lady that's on
the
it?
dollar quarter.
The
$2 bill is what I was thinking of, because they have the $2 bill and then they have the dollar quarter.
Right.
Or it's
Susan B. Anthony.
Susan B. Anthony. Right.
Okay.
So there's a restaurant up in Brooksville, and when you eat, they give you your change back as best they can in $2 bills.
Oh.
Which is, I go there just to get the $2 bills.
Yeah. I've
cool
got
as
a
hell.
few. I just think that they're interesting.
Yeah, there is a $2 coin, and then the Susan B. Anthony, which is $1. And when you give that to the young kids today, they're like, "Well, that's only 25 cents." And like, say 75 cents, you give them a coin, they're like, "Well, that's only a quarter." I said, "No, dumbass, that's $1."
Well,
Look at it.
Well, then I'll give you 50 cents for it then.
And you know what? I had some old 50s and old 100s that I tried to use one time, and they wouldn't take it.
The younger generation.
They're like, "Let's fake."
Yeah.
No,
it's hilarious,
But the Fed coin, I mean, I can kind of see it. They're going to.
No, you won't be able to see it. That's the problem.
Well, yeah. When I'm like, yeah, you're a funny guy.
Well, just think of
what you
it.
did there.
It's one way to remove inflation and things like that because they control it. What is the value going to be based on is going to be interesting.
They'll control it. They'll control your taxes.
Right. And just think if you
They'll control what you eat.
If you
and what
try
you
to
watch.
take a trip in the future and you owe back taxes, then you may not be able to do that trip. Or that's the types of things I think you can look
how
forward
would
to.
you owe back taxes when they have the complete tracking of that digital currency? They would just take the taxes immediately as the transaction happens.
Look at what happened in Canada with the truckers and everything. They shut down all of their financial, their banks and everything for any of the people that were involved in that.
Right.
This would make it a whole lot easier to do that. So that's the downside of anything like this. And hopefully we do not adopt this. It's in beta right now.
Unfortunately.
And
I think we should go. I personally think we should go back on the gold standard. I'm just saying.
That
I know they're good.
Not the crypto gold standard.
Because that's what the rest of the world's getting ready to do.
Crypto. No
Crypto.
No crypto gold standard. This is getting kind of weird now.
let's not go there now. Come on, everybody. I don't know. Anyway, we'll keep going, y'all. Google issues emergency Chrome security update for all users. What is going on with them now?
Another 0 day. Yeah.
Back in the day, Chrome used to be the big cheese. Remember when they used to do a lot of conferences and they wanted people to openly hack the Chrome operating system?
Yes.
And they would pay out thousands of dollars. Hey, hack it. We guarantee you'd never be able to break into it. Now, the more and more they want to track people, the more and more vulnerable they become, and the more apps they let in. And don't get me wrong, the Android platform, when it comes to letting in nefarious app builders, they're very quick to do that. Unfortunately, so there's no, you can tell that's one of the reasons why the system's constantly full of bugs. Developers are able to any developer's able to just jump on it, and you get a bad extension. Google doesn't even really, pay attention for the most part. A lot of these extensions are even, bad actors and stuff like that.
You mean the one that you actually put into Chrome itself?
Sometimes you put in, sometimes you don't put in. They just go in.
Yeah, just realize that an extension is not part of something like Chrome or Microsoft Edge or Brave or any of the other flavors of the Chromium browsers out there. And this is one of those things, since we're telling you about it, you want to go into Chrome or Edge or Brave or whatever browser you have that is Chromium based, go to Help and then About that browser, and there'll be a way to update it. So do that immediately. So this is
it'll start scanning.
So here, I thought it always did it itself.
It does, but sometimes like these
types of things, you want to be proactive.
You go in there, just hit Help and About Chrome, and it'll automatically scan for an update immediately.
Yep, and it'll tell you if an update's available, and it'll start updating. In some cases, sometimes you're prompted to click on something to do the update, but you definitely want to get these updates. So even if you have Microsoft Edge, which is the default browser now on Windows 10, Windows 11, you want to also click on Help.
And a lot of times
update
people
Microsoft Edge.
Okay, so here I am. I'm the goo-goo. I'm the dum-dum of us all when it comes to this world, right? So I just went into my account, right, and I went to settings and privacy, right, right, and where's Help? Settings?
You should have, which browser are you in?
Chrome.
Oh, you're in Chrome. Okay,
Yep.
so the triple dot.
Oh, the triple
The ellipses,
dot.
and then you go into
Settings or Help?
settings. Actually, it would be about Google Chrome.
About Google
Under Help.
Chrome.
And there you have your update ability.
Really? See,
Yeah,
I
you go
like
that way, or when you go to settings, it comes to that other page too. You go scroll to the bottom and About.
Oh,
Tells
okay.
you there you're up to date. So you can also see if you're up to date just by
I'm up
clicking
to
there.
date.
And believe it or not, a lot of times too, when these automatic updates either happen in the background, you will notice that if you're signed into Chrome, or there'll be a red, or if you're not signed in, there'll be a red box in the top right corner where your profile picture would be.
Okay.
And it'll say update in big bold letters, and people usually leave Chrome up and running nonstop and just close out their computer and open it back up, and Chrome's still running. And they have to click that button to finish the restart of Chrome so Chrome can apply those updates.
Okay.
And I've seen people where they have that running for weeks, just sitting there waiting, says update. And they haven't performed that update to allow it to block any 0 day entries into their
Oh, very
browser.
cool. That makes a lot more sense. See, it's just all about asking the right people.
Yeah.
Because I always thought, even on my phone, I thought the Google app always just updated all on its own.
Unless you have automatic updates turned on, but even then, so a lot of times those updates are there and pending, but the system hasn't gone out and collected it yet. So it's always good to double check.
Well, there you have it. That
Agreed
tells,
with the double check. Just go to Help and About, and you can get to it. So.
Okay.
Discount double check.
So, you know what I didn't do? And Rob gets on to me all the time because I'm slacking because I'm the guy that controls the back. We're just going to jump to, nope, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one too. Uh-oh. So what we're going to do is just leave that alone right now because my images are messed up. So anyway, we're going to talk about Florida's Attorney General issues a consumer alert about warning about Google voice scams. So what in the world?
Well, we've talked about like AI and AI voices, AI video, AI everything now. Well, the voices are so good that you can generate from Google that it's hard to tell if it's a robot or an AI generated voice or a real person. So the scam that's going on right now that the Attorney General is warning the citizens of Florida about is that, be aware that there's these Google Voice types of scams going on right now where it sounds very realistic, and just be on the lookout.
Well, normally how I tell it's real is they're not American.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna,
and they're always calling about my my car warranty.
You can even choose like little people that use slang or a particular accent.
We actually have a software
that
does it, so that way I don't have to hire voice actors. I could just and I can tell it how I can tell the phonetics of it, and I can tell it the attenuation and the whole 9 yards, and I can get some. Not a lot of times I'm like, wow, I did not know that was not. I did it and listened to it, but you have to go in and spell things phonetically to be able to do that. You have to understand that world.
Stuff like this particular scam is what they're talking about is like they're setting up Google Voice phone numbers in somebody else's name, and then they're using their personal phone number as verification. And what they're doing is they're saying, hey, look, I'm going to send you the verification code, in the midst of a transaction where the customer's trying to buy something from you, and then they're saying,
true.
Oh, give me that text that just came in and that code. And then once they generate, put that code in, now they've created a Google Voice number tied to you, an individual, and linked to your personal cell phone because you just said, yes, that code was mine and that phone number belongs to me. And now they go ahead and start, doing nefarious things in your name. And law enforcement can't figure it out because, they think it's you because you are the one that said it, and
right.
You just got tricked. And this is another phishing scam. This is
right.
They're using social engineering to trick you into giving information, so that way they can continue on a scam in your name.
Yeah, and that's big on online marketplaces or things like Craigslist or what's the other one? The starts with a U. Gosh, why can't I think of the name?
It's okay. It's Monday.
Yeah, it's Monday.
Why we do this on Monday, I don't know, but we do.
Another one that's
next door.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I do. Like from now on, when someone calls me and I'm talking to them, I'm gonna say, okay, before I'll continue talking to you, you got to say these words: "Yo, bitch, you crazy." And if they repeat the "Yo, bitch, you crazy," I know they're real, and we can continue talking. Right? And I get them on, and then I get them recorded saying, "Yo, bitch, you crazy." So I can go back later and go, "That dude called me crazy."
This is not admissible.
Another particular group that's targeted with these types of scams are the elderly. So, even the AARP is stepping in and issuing a warning through their network saying, "Hey, folks, be on the lookout for this."
Right.
If you're buying stuff online, never fall for that. Hey, I need you to put in your text number so I can send you this code or anything like that.
Right, exactly. You don't need to do any of that. That'd be the same as somebody saying, "Hey,
before
we meet up, hey, could you give me a credit card information?" I mean,
right.
I do that all the time, though.
Yeah. I just want to make sure. I want to verify funds are in your account before we,
before
go on
we
with
talk.
this transaction, right?
Sorry. Do you got money?
So you want to typically do things. I know we're in the age of COVID still, but you want to do things face to face, especially with these online marketplaces.
Absolutely. So, speaking of face to face, AI is getting scary. But you know what? Here's something funny. It's literally starting to wean itself off now. Because every time you go to these apps, and it's like amazing, all these beautiful people selling the app, right? Oh, it's so great, blah, 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 blah. But after the free trial of 3 days, it's $50 a month. And some of them, like Lenza, I think Lenza's like $50 a month or something like that. It's stupid crazy. I'm not doing it. I don't need to pay that. I could do that in Photoshop.
Yeah, especially these text generators.
Yeah.
With the AI text generators,
Right.
say if you want to write an article or something,
Yeah.
you just type a couple things, and it's just like, oh no, you can't. 5 words is all you get, sir.
Yeah. Right.
That's going to be $39.99 a month. Look, AI is cool and all, but it is definitely not worth that kind of money. These guys are going.
Unless you're making money doing it.
Well, yeah, or unless you're using it in film production where they need
Right.
the AI to auto generate, facial
Yep, yep.
stuff or
Right.
voiceovers and things like
Right.
that. But this consumer stuff, there's too much out there, and it's too costly to even know why would
Yep.
I pay you any money. I don't think you're that good, and it's not going to learn from just a couple of words that you say, because it's not going to know exactly what you want until you start feeding it information for a long period
Right.
of time.
I have seen it.
Correcting it.
So a lot of bloggers will now use like Jarvis and things like that. So they go in there, so they don't have to sit there and write a long blog, but they'll put the subject matter in there and then let it go, and it does a really good job of creating a blog and if you really read through it, if you gotta make sure you read it first, because I have seen it where people didn't read. And then you start reading the article and you're like, oh, they used AI because it just went off the rails.
Right. And in this case of Lenza that we brought up here, a lot of people, this is one of those craze type things, right? There's a lot of people on social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. They're all getting these new, fairly inexpensive Lenza, like virtual drawings of themselves, or they call it magic avatars. And so what's happening is that you have to provide like as many angles of your face as you can.
That's correct.
With the camera, so that they can create this this AI created re-imaging of you. They may make you look like the Queen of England, or maybe somebody in a sci-fi movie or something like that, or if you want a nicer body or whatever, you can make yourself look like however you want,
Right.
and they just give you a whole bunch of these magic avatars, and that's the craze that's taking off. So what is the risk of doing this is kind of the interest point on this.
Right.
Well, a lot of things are shifting from using passwords to biometrics for security purposes. Now, the company behind Lenza is saying, well, we only keep these things for 24 hours, but what if they get hacked? They don't tell all of the terms and conditions. They don't give you the nitty-gritty of that. So while they're saying that they're going to, put some of this stuff or dump some of this stuff, there's always that chance that they still have it. And there's another threat on this, is that they're using behavioral analytics along with this AI. So if somebody's got basically your face, and they can use it to do something like with a lot of Apple products that look for facial recognition or other forms of security, that's the kind of the concern part, I would say. Do you really want to give biometrics of your face to an internet-based company that who knows what they're going to do with it in the future, or if they're ever hacked, what the bad actors are going to do with that information?
Not just that, but once they have your facial biometrics, they can say, now we own those terms of agreements that we own your
likeness.
We own your likeness, and then next thing you know, a couple years down the road, who says that you're not in a commercial as an AI doing a commercial for medical company or prescription company, or oil of Olay
Or Pornhub.
What?
Right.
Think about it, man.
Hey,
if you're giving all this
boy.
stuff away and someone's trying to make a sexy ad.
It kind of gives a whole other meaning to deep fake, doesn't it?
Right. Oh, yeah.
It went there. Oh, we just
went there.
fell off the rails there
Oh,
for
yeah.
a while. huh?
But think about it. I mean,
Well, that's what they call it.
Your image can be used in some very bad ways.
Look, this is the same situation that happened when like 23andMe came out, and the DNA.
Yep.
companies. Oh, look, let's find out what your lineage is. Oh, that's great. Except for in the fine print, it says that we now own your genome, and we can do what we want. Next thing you know, you're recreated in the future.
You don't want two of me.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
We could be used to colonize
unless they
Mars.
can take the asshole gene out. If you can take that gene out, you're okay. But
Look,
in the meantime, you got two.
The human
a-holes
race
walking
can
the face of this
continue.
earth
All
that are
we
back.
have to do is send all these embryos up to Mars and regrow them up
yeah.
there.
Yeah,
once they learn that that's all they know, hey,
It's the arc. They have the arc.
Exactly.
Going to Mars.
23 and
Mars
me.
arc.
going to the moon.
Well, I guess I would be okay with that. All right, send another John up there.
Here we go.
I keep telling everybody,
John.com.
can't die yet because I'm too mean. It's like heaven doesn't want me because they're not ready for me yet, and hell's afraid I'll take over. So,
But the Space Force wants John.
there you go. There you go. I'm all about
We
it.
want
right?
you, John.
We want you.
He's more aerodynamic than us.
I am very aerodynamic. Thank you very much.
That's
I jump
great.
in the water. It's like, woo!
Oh, hydrodynamic too. Huh? Okay.
Exactly. I'm a little
Skips
bit
over
of
the
everything.
methane clouds.
Oh my God, Emma. I don't know. I downloaded it and then I looked at it and the minute I'm like Rob in the back. I'm like, the minute it's like, oh yeah, this is only for a couple of days and it costs this much. I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm not doing no in-app purchases. So I'm good. So what about the new Twitter relaunch? I thought this was going to be oh God, there we go, blue mark, right?
It's funny how
So
they
now
reversed this on Apple. They reversed it. I mean, it is what it is. If it's going to cost X amount to be on your platform to do it, and you want to have access to it, then I'm sorry, I'll have to charge you a little bit more because they're charging me more.
Right.
Or they want more of the pie, And
I
it
ain't
is what it
paying to
is.
have Twitter.
No, that doesn't make any sense to begin with,
I can
anyways.
turn that shit off in a heartbeat.
And
don't
believe it or
care.
not, the blue check mark was supposed to be, from people, because you know how easy it is to just copy a Twitter handle, Mine's AMS Computers, that could be AMScomputers.A. And then just call yourself AMS Computers, and boom, I got an exact duplicate. It's nothing. It was supposed to be for you to find out who was the real profile.
Right. Will the real Tom Hardy stand up?
Will show your blue check mark.
Blue check mark. Now everybody can have a blue check mark.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they'll let the people that use like the homographs or the like characters get blue check marks.
I think
That's a
that's
good
what the
question.
problem happened is when they first launched this and we're talking about it, they got bombarded with so many people jumping on the bandwagon and wanting to get the blue check mark. Well, everybody's verified.
Well, somebody,
Right.
I'll say somebody out there created an Elon Musk and
Yeah.
paid for the blue check mark.
Yeah, see, and that's kind of the point. It's like, are they actually going to be able to keep that
Well,
blue check mark if there's a dispute?
I think what's going to happen is they're going to have to tweak the algorithm in the back. So if you try to use that person's name and they just add a dot or or a letter or a number, it's just going to say no, person already exists.
Yeah.
My personal opinion, they should have tightened all this up anyway. We have a potential client that's coming on with us that they have a brand, and this person literally that is in the same town as them took the same name, same thing, and they just added an S. And they copied the brand. I mean, literally down to the font, the whole nine
Wow.
yards. Oh yeah. I mean, it's in there. So now they're competing with the exact same product, except it's not the exact same product. The guy had it years and years and years beforehand. But that's how we used to call it phishing, right?
Right.
When we were streaming, when you had before the CDNs were a big thing, and we all wanted to stream, so we were using stuff like it's not even that anymore. There used a platform out there that we used to stream on, and we'd stream live too. And so what we would do is go find people that had big followings, and then we would put our stream handle in there, so that we would go fishing, so those people would jump over to what we were doing.
Right.
And so nowadays you're not supposed to be able to do that, but
It's hilarious now
They
that you
used to.
just talked about that.
Yeah.
Is when you're in the VR world, in the Quest, people make worlds, and some of the stuff they try to charge for, so they can make
Right,
a couple of dollars and stuff like that. But you could literally be in a world, and then all of a sudden they got these things called portals that will be like that'll just show up randomly right in the middle of the world, and it'll say, here's a portal to this world, and this is what we're doing here. Join now.
Right.
And literally, you'll have like a group of people all checking out this one area, and then see this, and then like, oh, hey, what's that? And then all funnel and jump into this other world. And literally, you'll go into these other worlds and say, no portals allowed beyond this point. You will be automatically banned. These people just
Really?
Yeah, stealing each other's clients and stuff. And just trying to get everybody else to their spots in their world. It was a church that popped up to be exact. It literally was.
Wow.
And we were in like this
Fishing.
checking out this
For
little
men.
club, and it was
Fishers of men.
it was a church,
good.
and we were like, no, this can't be. And sure enough, it was a church. You walk in, they were having a sermon that night. I mean, it's like,
Wow.
can everybody hear us in the back?
God.
It was the greatest thing.
So here's something that I'm confused on. So I put this in here. Microsoft adds screen recording to Windows 11 snipping tool.
Wait,
I already thought that was a thing.
They moved it too. That's what they should have put. The screen recording was already there.
It was there. It's just now it makes sense actually to be in the snipping tool. I use the snipping tool all the time. So
Yeah.
Do you use the old snipping tool or the new snipping tool?
the new one more now. It took a little while, but
Yeah, us
I
guys-
like the
us
old
guys.
one.
It takes a while
Yeah.
because once you get used to doing something a certain way,
I
we
just
get
I like
annoyed.
the new features a little bit better on the newer ones. So.
I've yet to go to the new one.
Really?
I can't constantly because I always
I have
start it
another
up and-
one from TechSmith called Snagit, and I really love Snagit because in addition to just being able to get a screenshot, I can give it a jagged edge and stuff like that, and the tools for labeling are much better and all that because I'll do like an instructional type thing, and if they added all those extra things to the snipping tool, that would be really cool. But that's probably
I use the snipping tool. We use it all the time because, see, everybody's getting smart and they're making web images instead of JPEGs, right? So when you go to someone's website, and we're like when we talk about this on the shows, we'll go and grab the images from that article. Well, now the articles are web images, not JPEGs or PNGs.
yeah.
And so, which is, I don't blame them, but so now we use a snipping tool to go in and pop that out so we can talk about that article. But we use a snipping tool as it's a big tool for us.
It looks like it's getting a bunch of new pieces in it too, including the like the little labelers and stuff like that, like like a call out and all that. So,
But I always thought you could do a screen recording.
well, Windows gives you that
Yeah.
ability.
Yeah.
It's just
They
to me it
moved it
makes
to-
a whole lot more sense putting it with the snipping tool
Yeah.
because
I didn't-
sometimes you want to move. things.
Basically, they're just moving it so everybody gets annoyed and can't find it. That's all. Nothing that they haven't done before.
Because I've been looking in here now, it's like I don't see it. I guess I have to go update snipping tool.
And just remember, not everybody's device can upgrade to Windows 11 or something. So
No, this can. God, I hope so. If not, I got to throw
Well, you
it
should
away.
have it. You have 10 on here, so if you just click the Windows icon and then just type in snip, SNIP, it'll bring it up.
Yep.
Snip.
There you go.
Yeah, I have it right down here.
Oh, let me see. That's how you can bring it up.
Yeah, we have it on the. We literally use it that much that normally it's all the way over on the right, so I can use the function
Snipper, no snipping.
a function number, so I can just pop it up quick.
Yeah, I'm looking at like some of the new tools they're adding in there. That's nice. Like little arrows. And
Starting to look
stuff.
like Microsoft Paint.
Yeah, it looks like they
Maybe
brought paint in here.
combined it a
and I
little
hate
bit.
paint, but
Yeah, it's starting to.
But Paint
But
is
if
a
they-
great little backup tool.
yeah, it does.
So is
the
GIMP.
basics. GIMP is
GIMP
much
is-
more powerful.
Oh my God! I didn't think that was still a thing.
It is.
Oh yeah, it's open source, so
So,
Oh,
yeah.
really?
free.
Free 99. Huh? No.
Yeah, no. Every 10 minutes. It crashes.
Y'all don't know how to use it. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I never had a problem with it.
I've never
crashing.
had GIMP crash. No.
Yeah.
Had a couple guys used to.
We probably
you
don't
do some pretty
the
wicked stuff on
that
it.
these guys do though. So it's
Yeah.
probably one of these things where it's just the amount of
It
stuff you're
is.
putting in there.
It is.
Layers
So-
upon layers upon layers.
The most exciting
Oh, yeah,
thing that
that's-
happened last week or this weekend was the NASA Orion capsule returns.
yeah.
That is
it's,
so
no, it's
cool.
what was in the capsule that's exciting.
The dummies?
Oh shit!
There were dummies in there.
There's a bunch of dummies.
3 of them, and then I get it. No, don't
Look at
sit
the burn marks on that thing.
That's not bad though.
The only thing they didn't show you is the marshmallow consistency of the dummies after they opened up the thing.
Yeah,
It's so hot.
Right. And that's why they sent the dummies up.
That's right.
So that way they wouldn't have to go, oh, we cooked 3 dudes. Or the poor monkey, because,
Yeah,
PETA would just eat that crap up. Mm-hmm. So, but, this is literally, did you notice the timeline, though, of the next ones? It's really way out. Because they're going to try to reuse, parts. They're trying to be like Elon, and Blue, the other one. So,
they're like, we spent so much money on this program. Maybe we should have thought it out better and made it reusable.
Well, typically, that's everything that they go up in is one use only.
Yeah, it is something.
The only repeatable used product that they had were the shuttles.
Mm-hmm. Which they've been doing just fine.
Yeah. Well, they only had 2 accidents, 3 accidents, 2.
I think
Challenger, Discovery. Was it Discovery that blew up?
No, it was Challenger that blew up.
Twice? No, he only blew up once.
Shit.
There was. I think they've had 2 accidents. So, but still, it's like they did well as long as you just take care of them, and reuse them. Look at Elon; he's using these things over and over again.
Yeah.
If he can do it, we can do it.
Well, he's also landing his spacecraft on a little floating,
which is amazing
pontoon thing. Where it's like, why can't we do that with everything?
Well,
with these you can't.
No, it takes too much energy to figure it out. So. Too much brain power.
I mean, look. They're sending them up in a capsule, which there's no boosters, there's no nothing on there that can handle that kind of coming back in. And then the first stages and stuff like that, they never see outer space. Mm-hmm. They just see lower or upper atmosphere, which they can still come back down in a controlled manner. I get it, right? I get it. But with these, it's like all splashdown type of thing. But
we like old school. We like cooling off our stuff.
Even the one that
you know what, John? It just makes sense. Salt water and metal mixing it together. I mean, it just makes sense.
Why not?
Splash down, boom.
You're cooler, right? You're cooler.
You're cooler at least,
Right, you're cooler.
It's not like corrosion's ever going to be a problem.
Oh no, never, ever. All right, so I put this in here because I know you were always talking about the. I'm trying to find. There we go.
Well, that's a cool one.
If you add electrolyte mixture to this, to the batteries, they prevent the EV batteries from catching fire. Which,
well, hell,
I thought that was kind of
damn time.
Right.
Yeah, you would think we could have figured that out like almost right away, right?
You know how many people have their Macs catch on fire because they're trying to change the batteries themselves?
Do they really?
Yeah.
I've not heard that.
Yeah. Because Apple glues the battery in place.
Oh.
A lot of times people don't realize that the battery is still holding a charge, and you can literally they'll like, and it's the glue so hard. And they'll get out like metal tools and just go to town scraping underneath of it trying to break or razor blades and a lot of them too. They'll use chemicals too. But remember, you're talking metal tools.
Yeah.
And you short out the contacts, and once that fire starts, you can't put those things out.
Nope.
No, and it will burn hot enough to melt the aluminum in the Mac.
Wow.
Yeah, and a lot of times, I see these computers come in with the batteries swelled so bad that you put the MacBook on the countertop and you can go like this. And
I was going to say I had one of those. So I left it plugged in one weekend, which. Sometimes you can do that. And then I came in and it was literally sitting like it was wobbling. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh man, what did I leave that on? Did I put that on something? I looked down there. I'm like, holy crap!
Yeah.
It popped the back off.
Yeah.
And it was just sitting there, so I undid it, but it wasn't glued in. It came out pretty easy.
Yeah.
But
The older ones do.
But I'm like, oh my god, that thing could have just went.
Yeah, the older ones do, but a lot of times it'll cause the touchpad to stop responding because the battery's right underneath it and it pushes up on a touchpad. So yeah, it's very dangerous, and this is great if they can, add this solution, this electrolyte mixture, and start using this with the lithium in production of batteries today.
Yeah, they're saying that they can with this mixture in there, even at temperatures of 140 degrees Fahrenheit or even higher, it won't catch fire.
Yeah,
So-
and look what it says. The trick is put more lithium salt in there. Guess that's going to be bad for the environment now. Well, at least it won't burn. Now, if we already have a limited supply of lithium, let's just, keep digging out some more and sticking it in the batteries. Probably going to make the batteries even heavier, too.
Would it?
Well, it says that the polymer that they're using is gooey, so yeah, that would be a
It's
little more
gooey?
dense. It's gooey.
Yeah.
Like an interface?
Well,
Get it? GUI interface.
not that type graphic user interface. No,
Okay.
it's like gooey, like sticky, thick,
Okay.
oozy.
So Rob and I were talking about, actually Rob was talking about this morning. I heard him. I wanted to make a comment about this. So I love an ugly vehicle, right? I drove a Hummer, an H2 for a long time. And then everybody's like, that's a big square box. It's ugly. I like this thing. I like it. MK1.
That looks like almost looks like the new Ford Bronco.
less rounded.
Even
But I would drive this in a heartbeat.
It looks like a military vehicle.
Yeah, it does look like a
It
military
does.
vehicle.
Almost like those are missiles or
Wait a
something
sec.
up front there.
It almost looks like it's bowed in. I don't know,
It's got a
maybe
little.
just
It's got a little
shot.
bit of a.
I think it's a good looking truck too.
I do
Yeah,
too.
that's a nice looking.
I'd drive that thing in a heartbeat, man.
I mean, that looks like a missile launcher right there.
It does, right?
Yeah.
And it looks to me like it's carbon fiber, but I'm not sure exactly what it's
Kevlar.
made. It could be. You never know. But I think it's badass. But it's it's electric. 190
Boogie,
miles.
boogie,
though,
boogie.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's all you get.
How many?
190.
Oh, then why even make it, man?
Yeah, gosh,
Because
that's-
here's what a lot of guys will do. They'll put a motor in it.
Well, you know what? Eventually, at the end of the day, all these electric vehicles, it may only have a limited range today. Doesn't mean that tomorrow somebody can't build a better battery
Right.
technology.
Once the better battery shows up,
Right.
the
And-
whole
and-
world's going to change.
And they can build it to the same specifications that the truck takes. So it's only a matter of time before a truck like this would be upgraded. But
Right.
the problem, and I think this is a big issue too, is the problem is like with Tesla, for instance, where you have to have that whole back end system, the servers and stuff like that running to keep these machines going.
That's correct.
So you're tied to
A tether.
you're
A digital tether.
You're digitally tethered
It's a
to
digital
the
tether,
manufacturer.
right.
If that company goes out of business, what happens to your vehicle?
True.
And
Somebody
this is-
would have to buy that out, or you're
Right.
stuck.
And you know what? Just think about it. The government goes around giving out these incentives for the electric car companies, right, to sell more vehicles, and for you to purchase a vehicle.
Right.
Then in the meantime, company goes out of business.
Yep.
The federal government is the one that also gave you money and basically told everybody that they need to switch.
Yep.
And then they're sitting here with a whole bunch of vehicles that are dead in the water and can't do anything with. What's
Right.
going to happen? Taxpayers going to end up picking up the tab to run these server farms to keep these things spinning on,
So-
a bunch of virtual machines running
So,
old.
so
car
there's
companies.
so there's plywood floor in the square low bay.
What?
Yep. And it'll swallow a European pallet, 47 inches by 32 inches. It can handle 2,200 pounds payload, right? It can tow 7,700 pounds. It's got a 130-inch wheelbase.
It can tow that much weight and only get 50 miles.
Well,
Yeah.
they say in adverse conditions 113 max.
Right.
But yeah, it's definitely going to be.
And it's going to
More like
cost
150 to
$61,000.
Jeez.
$61,000.
Just $61,000 so you can drive around town in a truck that big?
Well,
But you
this
can
was-
drive to dinner
You can go off
and look
roading
cool.
With it.
Yeah,
Nah,
for
you know what
5
this?
minutes.
You know what this is for? This is for the new Jurassic Park theme park that they started. up.
Probably. Probably.
And this is going to be drive-by-wire.
Hey, did you know? Oh man, I'm glad you said that. Did you know that in Newport Richey we have a Jurassic Park coming?
Oh yes, yes.
It's very cool.
Yes.
It's at the old school down there off of Grand.
Yeah, I've been watching all the dinosaurs around and,
Yeah.
and doing stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty-
Kia Friendly's got a couple of dinosaurs out front, and We drove by
around.
it like 3 times last Friday night, going to set up for the stream down there, and I'm like, and finally coming back, I'm like, me and my son are like, "Did you just see dinosaurs?" I said, "I just saw dinosaurs." So yeah.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that somebody. I believe they're a nonprofit too, and it's cool that they that's very unique application to do.
So we won't be able to get this truck until 2024.
Oh, wow.
Well,
They are accepting deposits.
one cool thing about this is that, you know, some of the newer battery technologies that are being deployed out there, they can charge it at 70 kilowatt hours.
Whoa, that's quick.
Which, that means that they can get you from 15% battery to 80% in like 36 minutes.
Which is
So
cool.
at
It's time to go
36
eat dinner.
minutes, you can go get dinner and have a full charge pretty quick, or close to it.
That's that. Now, see, that's kind of cool,
Yeah.
right? Or you just put a.
That
What if
makes
you
it
put
a
a
whole lot
solar
more
panel on the
practical.
top, constantly keep the batteries trickle charge?
Well, it's got a lot of flat area. They might as
It
well,
does,
right?
right?
They
Right.
should turn all those into solar panels. The
Oh,
doors,
that
the
would-
roof,
I'd be okay with that.
the windows. Or
That's another
no.
technology that needs to be advanced more
Mm-hmm.
because I'm pretty sure we can pull a lot more power out of the sun than just the standard 100-watt panels and stuff.
Yeah.
Small. What these panels pull in is ridiculous compared to what that sun puts out. We should be able to get more watt per square inch than what we're getting today.
You would think.
Yeah.
So I put this in here because you guys are both
I'm glad you
techie
did
guys.
too. 'Cause-
Security researcher shows off kernel vulnerability on the iPhone 14 running iOS 16.1.2.
Which is hilarious that they just released this information so recently when Apple's on getting ready to release 16.2.
Right.
So by the time they would have been able to figure this out and generate a jailbreak for the phone, Apple's going to have this patched.
Well, I hope so.
I believe they're going to have this patched by that time.
You
so.
would think they would want to.
And it's funny, sticking on the iPhone 14. But another thing is, I don't know. I was reading another article. Now that we're on the subject of Apple and this, that Apple is about to increase their encryption of your personal data, their end-to-end encryption, to the point that FBI and a few other law enforcement companies are really not going to be able to get into these devices anymore. And their FBI right now is calling foul on it and saying, "Hey, this is, the tools that we have today are really helpful for, for reasons that if somebody's doing something they're not supposed to do and their
So
phones
let me get
encrypted.
this straight. You're saying the FBI is complaining about
Apple encrypting.
trying to give us more security for our private information
Correct.
that
Yeah.
the FBI shouldn't have access
to
to
the
whenever
point
they want anymore.
that Apple's basically saying that once the enclave the device once you break that encryption they can't even help FBI or nobody. They're going to make it that good. And
Wow.
they're saying sorry, and then the FBI is like calling foul on it. But you know what? You can't blame them. They're supposed to be they're selling their product in the way to keep your data safe. You can't be one way, and FBI should be the same way. We're trying to keep our country safe. Everybody's trying to keep themselves safe in some manner. You can't turn around and say, well, you can't keep it that safe. We still have to be able to get in. No, you don't.
No.
Right.
Figure it out. Figure out how you're going to be able to track these people later on. Do a little bit more snooping, or however you do. But you don't blame a private company who's trying to, do their thing, and and then say because you can't get in, you guys are being bad boys.
Bad boys, bad boys.
I imagine
What
they'll be
you gonna
forced
do?
to provide a decrypting capability otherwise.
Yeah, and that's the problem. That shouldn't be the case. They shouldn't be able to force them to provide a decryption tool because it's not their device they didn't do the encryption.
Right.
The client did. You know what I mean?
Right.
They just provide a means. The software provides a means to do it. It should be up to the customer. You know what I mean?
Right, and it should be a privacy concern, one, and up to the individual, whether they release that information or not.
Right.
So
not the company that builds the device or provides the software. That's not their fault. They just provide the means.
Right.
And if they don't have recovery means on their end, then leave it at that. That's the end of it. You know, stay away from them.
Right. So, science, the U.S. says scientists may have a breakthrough in nuclear fission, which is kind of
fusion, isn't it?
fusion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I say fission. Fission. I'm tired.
It's fuzzy.
I am paraded out. So,
they finally were able to generate more electricity out of the fusion than they put in, which is the thing that boggles me is like 2.1 megajoules or whatever of power into the device to get out. I said 2.1 to get out 2.5,
which is actually a big deal.
Yeah. Let's just take every nuclear plant in the U.S. to fire up this one fusion reactor. So we can get a little bit more energy back out. Yes.
A little more. Well,
Yeah. So you keep seeing this constantly. They're always talking about we're getting breakthroughs,
and it's so small.
It's so small. It's like you almost begin to wonder if that they're just throwing stuff at the wall and hoping something sticks. And then they realize, oh, their instruments were off just a little bit. Sorry, we really generated 1.2 joules, and we ended up eating up more power than we created.
Right. Well, that's that whole thing about everybody keeps telling me about making one tire on an electric car a generator instead of to just charge the batteries.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, a little bit helps. I don't care if I'm going down the road and it's giving me enough to get home. I don't have to stop and charge up if it's just enough, right? So we've worked so hard in this country to get barcodes, right? I love barcodes. I think barcodes is. I wish we'd have done this quicker in America than we had. Not QR codes, but barcodes, right? Mm-hmm. I actually helped set up a fire flood restoration company. Good Lord, almost 25 years ago, and I brought them into the barcode world. So that way, when they pull assets out of a house that burnt and we have to clean, you barcode them, and you track them through the whole system, and they just like, why haven't we been doing this from the get-go? And I said, well, some of us have.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's a good thing.
Look at every single product that's out there. Everything has a barcode on it.
Because, and then now, so Amazon wants to kill it. I mean, I read the article, and I still don't agree with them.
Well, you know what it is it's difficult for you think about these computers, they try to pick up a box, and trying to find a barcode so they can scan it,
Yeah, the robotics.
The robotics
using,
itself.
Yeah.
And then they have to use multiple cameras to be able to go around the whole box, because it's not like the robot's going to pick up the box in the exact spot it's supposed to be.
Well, how about just keep a good old American working and let them scan it with a barcode?
Well, see, that's what I would think too.
Right.
But yeah, the article points out that robotic arms are no good at finding barcodes.
Yes, and I could understand that, because, and not just that, just imagine they go to grab it and they grab half the barcode. They're not going to be able to scan it.
Well, then you put a barcode on all four sides.
Yeah, but now.
So when it gets picked up, no matter how it's picked up,
remember
it runs over a scanner. Walmart can do that.
Well,
I can sit here. Look, I can sit here from 2 feet away and go like this, and the barcode it'll go beep.
Well, remember too, customers, the items that Amazon stocks is not by their own doing. It's by people like me and you who print the barcodes on a regular printer paper, sticks the barcode on the box, and ships it to Amazon, and Amazon's the one that has to pick it up. So it's not always going to end up in the same spot.
No, that's what I'm saying.
And since
you do a wrap tape that has barcode.
And since we're a global economy now, what about all the other places around the world that?
Well, I was reading.
This is going to be a big deal. I mean,
it is going to be a big deal.
They are also scanning into individual pictures into the database of items and stuff like that. Just imagine the size of that database.
Oh yeah,
and how much the AI has to figure out. This box looks like an iPhone.
So you want to know how to pay for all your server and all your cost of having your servers and all this kind of stuff is you open up smaller servers and let the Americans pay for that so they can have a website and they can have this. And guess what? Now your server's being paid for. Right?
Virtual servers within
So
our server.
I was wondering, what are they going to try to use to replace the barcodes? Is it RFID?
You know,
or
and the
something
article
else?
kind of just gave a bunch of different technologies all together. There wasn't the one specific. And RFID is great.
Yeah,
You know,
It is
I
great.
and it's something that could be easily
especially when you
picked up
have
by their
yeah.
machines.
Sensor inside the arm picks up the package reads it and goes, oh, okay, this is what this is.
Right.
Done.
And they can do inventory in one. They could literally
Right.
stand at one end of a warehouse and go pew and pull the whole inventory.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that would make a whole lot more sense. I'm just curious
But then
what they'll end up
remember getting the RFID tags. It's going to be it's not
Yeah.
going to be cost effective. And then the RFID tags, getting them to the the store.
Dude, you can buy sheets of RFIDs, stickers.
with. Yeah, there's
Sheets
stickers
of
now.
them. Like I saw a package the other day, 200 RFIDs for $15. Hey, oh my gosh, there's only got 30 seconds
30
left.
seconds.
Wow.
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 And you're still
I'm like, Will,
tearing
so
up
we're
on
only gonna-
Amazon's RFID.
We're only going to do one
technologies.
more of these before Christmas, right?
One more before Christmas, and after Christmas, we're going to be shut down until after the New Year's because everybody needs to refresh, get a new brain going. We may change the setup a little bit. Everything's going to be new in the new year,
Right.
right? That's going to be freaking awesome. Freaking awesome. Wow.
So I'll say Merry Christmas.
Merry
to everybody
Christmas.
out
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Merry
All right,
Christmas.
everybody. We'll
And
see you
we'll
guys
see you
next
all.
week on Tech Shamans. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.